Hello, good evening. How are you? And welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Matthew Schifano, and I am one of the English teachers here at the Yale School. This is my 5th year teaching here at Yale, and this course is World Literature. I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes up the grades, some of the stuff that we're going to be working on, and then some of the material that we're going to be looking at. So the first thing I'll talk about is our grades and how we kind of come up with them. And 70% of the grades are post-test assessments. So that is anything that the student writes. It could be a test, it could be a quiz, it could be a project. Pretty much whatever it is that they're completing in class make up 70% of the grade. 15% of the grade is what we call task completion. And this is recorded every day. And it just ensures that a student is working about 85% of the time that we are here. And that they're engaged, following expectations, that they are participating and doing what they have to do, submitting the work that's assigned to them. The other 15% of the grade is being omitted right now, and that is homework completion. With everything going on with COVID, we are not assigning homework. We have a lot of students who are still remote, so right now we are not doing homework completion. But when we start that up again, you guys will get ample notification, and you'll be able to inquire about that. The next thing I want to talk about are our writing fluencies. And a writing fluency is something that we do one time per marking period. It brings our students through each step of the writing process. So they'll be given an option of a few prompts. They'll select a prompt, and this will be something based off whatever it is that we're reading or we're learning about at the time. Once that prompt is selected, they will complete a pre-write or a brainstorming activity, followed by a rough draft. When they compose the rough draft, the length of it is going to vary. Each student has their own individualized writing goal. So some students might be working on something that's 1 to 3 paragraphs, while another student is completing something that is 5 to 7 paragraphs. So that all kind of depends on where the students fell with a lot of our beginning of the year assessments and data that we've collected from last year if it's a returning student. Once the rough drafts are completed, they will meet with me, and we do what we call like a one-to-one writing conference, where we kind of read through it together. We look at and say, like, all right, let's see what we did well. Let's see what we can do a little bit better. From there, the students will take my notes and my corrections, and then they'll compile a final draft. Once that final draft is complete, they submit it, and that is what I use to grade. And we have a Yale School writing rubric in order to complete our grades there. When we complete our fluency for the third marking period, our third marking period fluency is actually going to be a research report. So it's going to follow the same steps that are writing fluencies as a writing fluency, but we're going to be looking at some outside information. So they're going to be researching articles, critiques, whatever it is that applies to the prompt that they've selected. And this gives us an opportunity to practice our note-taking skills, to identify reliable sources, to practice adding in-text citations, creating a works cited page. And this is something that is completed in the third marking period. As for material, being world literature, we read stuff from all over the world. We do everything from novels to short stories to essays. And it's just something, that a lot of the students seem to enjoy. Right now, we're reading Night from Elie Wiesel, which is a story written by a Holocaust survivor. And he kind of recounts his experiences from being brought from his town, transported to the ghetto, eventually the camps, and then finally the liberation. So as we read it, we kind of go, when we go through some alternative material, classroom discussions, there's post-test assessments, as well as writing fluencies based off this, and creative projects. But our next novel is going to be The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And then usually at the end of the year, we'll throw in some short stories and excerpts from other novels, such as Things Fall Apart from Chinua Achebe or Shooting the Ball. So if anybody has any questions about like what we're doing or how the student is doing individually, please feel free to reach out to either your homeroom teacher or myself directly. You can send me an email. My email address is mschifano, M as in Matthew, Schifano, SCHIF as in Frank, ANO, @yaleschool.edu. fluencies.nj.com. And I look forward to having a great year. And they're a great group of kids. So it should be a good time. Thank you.